republic. The signers of the Declaration of Independence were brave men. They were great men too. Great enough to give frame to a great age. It does not often happen for a nation to raise at one time such a number of truly great men. The point from which I am compelled to view them is certainly not the most favorable. Yet, I cannot contemplate their great deeds with less than admiration. They were patriots, statesmen, and heroes. And for the good they did and the principles they contended for, I will unite with you to honor their memory. Fellow citizens, allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I or those that I represent to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I therefore called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar, to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude resulting from your independence to us? But to God, for both your sake and ours, that an affirmative answer can truthfully be returned to these questions. Then would my task be light and my burden easy and delightful. For who is there so cold that a nation simply could not warm him? Who so ardent and dead to the claims of gratitude that would not thankfully acknowledge such priceless benefits? Who so stolid and selfish that would not give his voice to swell the hallelujahs of a nation's jubilee when the chains of servitude have been torn from his limbs? I am not that man. In a case like that, the dumb may eloquently speak and the lame man may leap as an art. But such is not the state of the case. I say it with a sad sense of disparity between us. I am not included within the pale of glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings to which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought light and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. You may rejoice, but I must mourn. To drag a man in fetters into a grand illuminated temple of liberty and call upon him to join you in joyous anthems were inhumane mockery and sacrilegious irony. Do you mean, citizens, to mock me by asking me to speak today? If so, there is a parallel to your conduct. And let me warn you that it is dangerous to copy the examples of a nation whose crimes towering up to the heavens were thrown down by the breath of the Almighty, burying that nation in irrevocable ruin. I can today take up the plaintive lament of a peeled and woe-smitten people. Psalms 137. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yes, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof, for there they that carried us away captive required us a song. And they who wasted us required us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. How can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, let my right hand forget the cunning. If I do not remember thee, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions, whose chains, heavy and grievous yesterday, are rendered more intolerable today by the jubilee shouts that reach them. If I do forget, if I do not faithfully remember those bleeding children of sorrow this day, may my right hand forget her cunning, and may my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth. To forget them, to pass lightly over the wrongs, and to chime in with the popular theme would be treason most scandalous and shocking, and would make me a reproach for God and the world. So my subject today, fellow citizens, is American slavery. I will see this day and its popular characteristics from the slave's point of view. Standing there identified with the American bondman making his wrongs mine, I do not hesitate to declare with all my soul that the character and conduct of the nation never looked blacker to me than on this 4th of July. Whether we turn to the declarations of the past or to the professions of the present, the conduct of the nation seems equally hideous and revolting. America is false to the past false to the present, and solemnly binds herself to be false to the future. Standing with God and the crushed, bleeding slave on this occasion, I will, in the name of humanity, which is outraged, in the name of liberty, which is fettered, in the name of the Constitution and the Bible, which are disregarded and trampled upon, dare to call into question and denounce with all the emphasis I can command everything that serves to perpetuate slavery, the great sin and shame of America. I will not equivocate, I will not excuse. I will use the severest language I can command, and yet not one word shall escape me that any man whose judgment is not blinded by prejudice, or who is not at heart a slave owner, shall contest to be right and just. For all is plain, there is nothing to be argued. What point of the anti-slavery creed would you have in mind? Or what branch of the subject do you people of this country need light? Must I undertake to prove that the slave is a man? That point has been conceded already, nobody doubts it. There are 72 crimes in the state of Virginia which, if committed by a black man, no matter how ignorant he be, subject him to death, while only 2 of the same crimes will subject a white man to like punishment. What is this but the acknowledgement that the slave is a moral, intellectual, and responsible being? The manhood of the slave is conceded. It is admitted in the fact that Southern statute books are covered with enactments forbidding, under severe fine and penalties, the teaching of a slave to read or to write. Now, when you return to such laws in reference to the beast of the field, then will I concede to argue with you that the slave is a man. When the dogs on the street, when the fowls in the air, and the cattle in the hill, and the fish of the sea, and the reptiles that crawl can no longer distinguish a slave from a brute, then will I argue with you that the slave is a man.
Hey, since the first day I met you, man, you showed me that in script, Fredrick Douglass.
Right.
So when this opportunity came, was this something that you knew you had been preparing for man? And I've been knowing you since what, 2005, 6?
Yeah.
So have you been preparing for this moment, man, since then?
I guess unconsciously, man.
Yeah.
You know, I really, it's just the speech moved me so much. So I believe that, God gave me the opportunity to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it was. So me reading that speech and me wanting to commit myself to learning it, it was all for a reason. Unknowing at the time, but, and I want to take it a step further. This is just the beginning with it. We gonna really resurrect him for real.
What made you feel it so much?
Man, his words, man. If you just heard it, how can you not be moved by that? This cat is from the 1800s. You know what I'm saying? They asked him to get up and talk on Independence Day. When all his homies were slaves. You know what I'm saying? So he did the right thing in the way that he spoke. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't really come in a disrespectful manner. He kept it 100. You know what I'm saying? To where anyone who was right in the head be like, this dude is right. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why, man, it's just right to do it.
Will it be hard for you to break this character? Because I see you still in character, even with your tone and everything.
It's the outfit. You know what I'm saying? It's the outfit, man. It's like, I prayed for him to come over me with this one. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how serious it is with him. So I prayed for his spirit, man. I believe that he hit me up. So yeah.
All right, man. I want to congratulate you, man. You hit it up for real. You had me shaking, man. It was hard for me not to move this camera, man. Them words, I was like, man.
I felt it too.
Yeah. Hey, right on, man. Tell them everybody your name, man.
Morrell Roberts. You know what I'm saying? Look for me in the Hunger Project, in the Russian Roulette AIDS Awareness film. You know what I'm saying? More things to come. That's a doc. But I'm a doc.
All right, we out.
Right.